Hey guys, welcome back to American Adventure. In this episode, we're taking a little bit of a detour away from the Great Frontier to work on a resort hotel for American Adventure. So this resort is going to be called, well, not resort, this hotel is going to be called Sequoia Suites. So this hotel is completely inspired by Disney's Grand Californian Hotel in California Adventure. And it has this arts and crafts 20th century like style to it, so a lot of woodwork, stone, a lot of like woodsy feel structure. So I think it fits perfectly well for my American theme park because of how it's all about different areas of America. And this is going to be like the only connection to California is for this hotel. So I'm actually quite happy that I picked a hotel theme for this, not like a land, because I think a land that would be like California based could be kind of little. Well, no, actually the airfield's kind of California themed as well a little bit because it is more tropical. So kind of have both. And this one, this hotel kind of actually sits right behind the dogfight inverted dueling coaster, so that actually works out really well. So you get to see the coaster if you rent a room in the hotel. In front of you right now, I'm doing a little RCT trickery with the monorail tracks as like a concrete border or wall to kind of guide guests with their cars to the drop-off area or pickup area for guests to, stay at the hotel. The parking lot in front of the hotel is shared by guests and hotel guests, so there's really no separate parking lot. I might make a valet parking lot somewhere off to the corner. The area is not done yet. There's some final last touches here and there for the area, but at this point I like how the front area so far looks with the entrance area for the cars, and then I'm going to figure out how the hotel's going to look. Hotels are of a interesting breed of structures. They're usually very tall, wide, rectangular, and also trying to make them look interesting is the challenge anyway. So you'll see how I figure that out. There's some techniques that I figured what to do. These planters up in the front near the entrance of the car driveway, the driveway. I just did a vase and a little bit of a potted plant to kind of make it some flowered thing, and shapes are using those to my fullest extent. The corners of the street or the driveway will be covered up by some bushes later. With the new DLC we got with Booms and Blooms, we got some new trees. So we got a Sequoia tree, and there was no place for me to really use the Sequoia tree yet, and this is the cedar tree too. So making this like a woodsy hotel kind of worked out because I get to use some trees that I haven't used yet, and that's what was the objective, was to use Sequoia trees and some cedar trees to kind of give this place a little bit of different atmosphere, and yet still has that connection to being an American type of structure or theme. So I do like the process of doing this. I'm going to give some credit to a YouTuber by the name of Ollie141, I think his name is. He's doing an RCT2 series on a theme park called Magic Towers, and he built a hotel like a couple months ago. And I watched that, and I was like, okay, can I build a hotel too for my theme park? And I think I can, and I found a perfect spot for it, and it actually worked out to be pretty cool where it sits. And it's not like it's not realistic. It's realistic to a point, because I did make a park entrance for the hotel. You'll see that later on. We're already 4 minutes in. This is nice. So this is just the park, like the car cover. So this is for protecting you from the rain when you want to come into the hotel to first greet your guests here. You go to the lobby, you get your key, you go up to your room. The hotel, I need to remember how many is in this hotel. I'll probably count later when we get to like more of the structure built, but this just right now building the car cover and made it with some shapes, some roofing, and some borders. this entire hotel was built without construction hierarchy because I was still testing and messing around with doing it without it, and I think it turned out pretty well actually. I'm more surprised than ever that it actually turned out really well without construction hierarchy. I'm re-enabling it again because I'm going to get into some more detailed stuff later on with some of the rides, like the River Rapids. Probably going to utilize that more often to kind of help out with some of its theming, stuff like that. So I'm re-enabling it because there's some things that it still has that I like. And also during this month, I'm working on that Coaster View Challenge for October. So that's also what's happening this month as well. So now onto the actual building of said hotel. So I just did a research run on Google and I found some pictures of the Grand Californian. And I pulled a lot of inspirations from it, like these little stone pillars, or the base of the wooden pillars. So this is your stone that is used. Then did a metal roof colored brown to give it that wood texture, or that wood color. And then my objective was to build 2 rooms side by side and go up, and then that's all I built. That, and then copy it over and over again with blueprint. That was the whole objective. Because building a hotel with all at once is really, really time consuming. And all in all, I think this whole hotel was about a 6 to 7 hour build, spread out a couple days. And yeah, it was quite a big hotel. I was surprised how big I got it too. I really didn't pre-plan it. I just kind of winged it in a way. So like things here with the so it's just building ledges and wooden things. Oh, you just saw a very simple sample of what a room size would be. So I made a mock-up. Oh, and also I saw Silverette's video on hotels as well. That also got me inspired too. It was called what did you call it? Silv Suites. Yeah, Silv Suites was on that his Planet Zoo episode for Quali Zoo. That was cool. And he actually made interiors, but in Parkitect I'm not going to do interiors. There's no point. So, but giving yourself a realistic room size actually helps with the building's shape, because you can make it where the rooms are too small and not realistic, and then your halls are ridiculously large or something between rooms. So we're just jumping up to the first couple rooms. There's a door, a window, and then these giant like green wooden pillars that kind of support the structure of the building. I messed around with things like here and there. Like most of this building is shapes and walls, so kind of is very boxy, but it has like these little intricate decals, like the diagonal squares on the edges of the balcony is a really cool little touch. And then pillars kind of to show you all the wooden structures that support the building is quite important to have for a hotel, I think, because I looked at some different hotel designs, especially at Disney's properties, because they have 3 at Disneyland here in Anaheim. So it'd be like Grand Californian, Paradise Pier, and Disneyland Hotel, and they all have different styles and themes to them. There comes in my chocolate bar to the rescue to add some more like wooden square detailing. I love that piece so much to the point where I've used it almost everywhere possible. There's probably some new things I can probably use it when the time comes, but chocolate piece, love how to use it. It's a cool little piece. So I think the hotel is about 6 stories high, so 6 levels, with I'm not sure how many rooms. I'm waiting until here as it jumps across. So I'm just still building one side of the hotel. The red is how big the room is, and the green roofing is the hallway for the guests to get to their rooms. So that was kind of the pre-planning phase a little bit to kind of figure out my sizing. Originally the hotel was going to have like 2 towers, like an L-shaped layout, and I changed my mind at the end because I felt like there was too much building, and I have other room to then do like other things like a pool or maybe an extended parking lot, or I can make some type of spa area for my guests later. There is going to be spawn points in this hotel so guests can come out. So when the park is actually operating, we'll see guests spawn out and see them walk through the hotel a little bit and then go into the park. There is an entrance to the park from this area. You'll see that. I've already said this before. You can see it later. It's okay. Yeah, here I actually did the copy. I actually called it Fort Wilderness for a second, which is another hotel. So it looks like I do 6 by 6. Yes, that's 6 by 6. So that's 36. No, I do more. Look at that. No, I don't. No, it's so that's 36 on one side, and then I copy it to the other side. So right now, one tower is, let me just pull up a calculator. So 36 times 36. No, 36 plus 36. My bad, not times. 72 rooms on one side. I think so. Yeah. That's what I think is going to happen. Yeah. So 72 on one tower plus another 72 is 144 rooms in total. That can house up to 4 guests each, roughly. That's like a family, right? So my hotel actually holds quite a lot, actually. It's not like the big grand hotel. Like I know like Grand California Disney is like 200 plus rooms, I think, or something like that. I think. I'm not sure. I might have to Google it, but my numbers might be completely wrong. But that hotel is just gigantic as it is. It has so many areas and rooms and places to go. So, yeah, my hotel is not that large, but I think it's large enough to hold the capacity of the actual guests in this park. Because I expect most of the guests to be like your locals and not your tourists. But it's nice to have a hotel on property to help your tourists find a place to stay for the night so they can spend more than one day at your park, because I do have a water park plan for this theme park. So at this point, this whole American theme park is becoming an American adventure resort. So that's what's going to change later. Yeah, I always just did a copy of a pillar over to the other side because I made one side of the blueprint so that I can fill it in. And then I'm going to finish this up and then copy this 3 more times to finish the grand style of said building. And I made this nice little roofing on top. Yeah, there was a lot going on with this hotel. Just working on this was just lots of things. I added some working elevators. They're completely pointless, but I think they're cool to have something dynamic moving in the background. So I just kind of built a very simple elevator, and then I built a structure around it, and then windows every other level. This is just a way to make your hotel more grounded, because I felt like if I didn't have an actual elevator shaft showing that there's an elevator that helps guests get to their rooms. I mean, there's also a fire escape somewhere. I just didn't build that, didn't need to. But it's nice to have the elevator kind of show you where things are going or how this thing's actually set in real life. So I did that. I think I just built one tower right now, and then I copied it over to the other side because I still didn't build the lobby yet. And the lobby was a whole other design philosophy that I had to go through. Like I needed to figure out how to make these 2 buildings connect, and it had to look different too. We'll get to that in a little bit. So it's just me finishing up detailing at the bottom with the shapes and the stone pillars and the potted plants, which I really love that the potted plants can be painted now. It's so lovely. It just adds more to this game, and the more customization is really helpful. What else do we have on this building? I think we had some vents up top, I think. Yeah, HVAC systems. Something I love to do. Sil pointed this out in his last Parkitect video, and it was kind of funny. But yeah, HVAC systems, my favorite thing to do, actually. It's like very relaxing to do the pipes and the air conditioning systems and stuff like that. And I don't think I did it for the hotel, but I think I did it for the restaurant. Yeah, because I do build a restaurant later and a pool. I should have said that before. Okay, but regardless, continuing on with the hotel design and the giant big vents on top. What's interesting about the Grand California at Disneyland, if you look at a Google map, the HVAC systems are not exposed. They're actually underneath this giant like green roof that they made, right? And they have vents on the side of the buildings that have air go in it's like a computer case. So the air goes in one way, it goes into the HVAC system, and then delivers air conditioning or heating to all of the guests in the hotel. But nothing's exposed to the elements, which is an interesting design. Not sure, like, if that actually affects the machinery. I don't know if that like helps with maintenance costs. It might, or it might just be a complete like decorational thing they wanted just to keep it aesthetically pleasing looking from space or from the air. I don't know, but it was interesting looking at Google Map and how that was designed. Here we finally get to work on the lobby. Now I wasn't gonna do any interior stuff because interior stuff is a whole other monster and it's like being, so I'm gonna skip that. You do see inside it. I should have put maybe a giant chandelier maybe. I might do it later if I feel like I can, but I'm going to skip it and just build the lobby. There's not even a reception desk. I don't really care, and I'm just gonna build this joining building to help with both buildings connect. That was the objective. So it had to look a little different, had to be a little bit smaller in size. Oh, it felt like it was smaller inside. I didn't want to make a tower because I didn't feel like this building needed a centerpiece. It didn't really need it. It's more of a grand hotel. Like the whole hotel is nice to look at because of all the little details I put on all of it. Like these windows, I made them a little bit different than usual. It's the regular window piece and then a pillar incorporated on every 4. Is it 4 or 5? I think it's 5. 5 grid. Yeah, 5 grid. I just did that, and it made the windows look a little bit different and better looking in a way. I did some cube detailing on the corners of things to give it that wood feel. Again, the whole thing's supposed to be like it's made of like logs and stuff, like a log cabin. Here to help support the roof, I felt like pillars were like a really cool idea. So these are like Sequoia tree pillars basically, and they have some decorational on it and stuff like that. And here's the actual planting of the second building, as my computer struggles to plop it down. But what do you expect when I build something this detailed? That is now how the whole hotel is shaped and kind of built, and then there's a pathway that kind of goes around the entire components of the building. Kind of works out. I do want to give you, no, I would also like to not suggest, it's more like say the driveway is going to extend actually, because I felt like the driveway was too short, because I felt like that if a bus was coming by to drop off guests, it would be there. So that extended. You'll see that in the live tour later. But right now on to building the restaurant, which I'm going to call Whitewater Grill. So I felt like my hotel needed a fancy restaurant for guests to go have breakfast at and dinner during the day and during the whole fun times at American Adventure. So this restaurant was just kind of designed to be your connection between backstage of the park. So right behind the restaurant is the American Theater, Journey to Independence, and one of the other buildings actually has the depot in it from the game. I have that hidden in the building, and I felt like that needed to connect to the restaurant to make it like this big, gigantic, grand kitchen, and then that kitchen supplies other things to other venues in the park. So at this point, everything here at this point feels pretty realistic to a point, because I'm just guessing on how real theme parks are laid out, but I think this is pretty close, and I'm pretty happy with how it kind of feels organic, but it also feels very organized. So this building is just going to copy the same design philosophies that I did with the hotel. A lot of wooden roofing and pillar work and stonework, and the restaurant's going to get a tower and then a giant roofing of some sort. And these actual food places are actually outside of the park, and they do actually get supplies, so it does work. It's just, it might not work, but I just needed to know there was something in there just to kind of make this more realistic and more grounded. So on to building some type of structure for it. I didn't build a custom sign for this restaurant. I should, and I think I'm going to on off camera. I'll just think of a sign that says Whitewater Grills, or what should I call it? Whitewater Grill. No, right, Whitewater Grill, not grills. So grill, so without the S. That sounds better. Doesn't sound so janky. So it's Whitewater Grill, and it is your restaurant for you to go have breakfast or dinner or lunch, all that good stuff. Then when you stay at American Adventure. So yeah. It just comes to roof design, just kind of just winging it, see what it looks good from a distance. And I liked how it looked like a giant, like, grand hall in a way, and it had these nice roofing that kind of interacted with each other. And yeah, I think it looks pretty nice. Nothing really going crazy in design, like what my thought process was. My thought process was just make sure that it matched the hotel, and that it covered up the backstage area that was exposed. Because I did have this area empty for the longest time, because I didn't know what to do with it. I could have just left it blank and open, but I feel like it needs to be somewhat hidden away. And then, yeah, half the building's built because guests won't see it, so it's just a very flat surface where that's enough room to put in, I don't know, 4 more HVAC systems, which I'm probably going to do. Especially for a restaurant, you need a really good HVAC system, because cooking up meats and something that smokes a lot, you need that air out of there, because there's no way you can work in that kind of condition. So yeah, you need HVAC systems to the win. For the win! Hooray! So I don't know. Just me rambling about food service, because I've had a little bit of experience in food service, so I kind of know those little details for what you need for a restaurant to run pretty well. On to making some type of grand tower. See, I think the sign should go on the tower. Oh, I should put a clock on it, maybe. Clock tower? I don't know if it needs to be a clock tower. No, I think the sign should go on it. So I might have to redesign it to make it a little bit taller, because I don't think the space... Oh, no, it can go right at the green wall where the 2 roofs meet at the peak. Yeah, the sign can go there. Only one sign. I don't have to do it on every side. Only one sign. So maybe a round sign that says Whitewater Grill. What's the symbol for it? Maybe Whitewater is like rapids, right? So maybe a river rapid boat, or maybe a fish, a log. I don't know. I'll think of some sign, because again, signs are an interesting beast when you want to design a sign. So I will figure that out eventually. I got a lot of things I'm working on lately. Let's see what else is going on. Tree placement. This is where I start messing with some sequoias and some oak. And I do have a park entrance right there for the guests to go into the park. So I'm going to do a pathway that goes up against the inverted coaster dogfight. So there's a new thing where the guests can actually see the coaster closer, so there's more interaction with the path, which I wanted from the beginning, but things have evolved. A lot of things have evolved, actually. This gray area, the area that I've painted on the floor, is going to be where our pool is. And the pool is going to have one water slide. So this was a test to see if I can build a water slide without mods, and see if I can maybe replicate this for my water park idea that I want to do later. Because I have a whole section on this map that is completely empty. It was going to be just parking lot, but I felt like that was not necessary. I think I should put an actual water park, and I haven't done a water park yet, so that's gonna come up later. I don't expect that to be anytime soon. To be realistically, I think I'm going to be working on the Coaster Beach Challenge for a little bit, and then work on the River Rapids soon. My Paul Bunyan River Rapids. I need to think of some type of story for that. Yeah, I'm just rambling here again, sorry. So, as I do videos like these, I kind of just think outside the box, or I think out loud, actually. And I try to think of what I can do for the next section. But right now I'm doing a bobsled as my water slide and just kind of figuring out where it should sit and just kind of sit up and go right into the pool. This is very basic swirl around done into the pool. It's very short. The original design was to make some giant log out of shapes, but I quickly gave up on that because I felt like it was not necessary. I was losing a little bit of steam working on this, so I wanted to get it done. I'm like 80% happy with the slide. There's some details I want to put around it still, maybe to help it out. But at this point, I'm not 100% happy. 80%. 80% is pretty good, but it could be better. But yeah. So there's a path that leads behind it. You go up to it, and then you take your nice little dip into the slide, into the pool. And it's brick based and stuff like that. Like this end here, after I finish the slide, this end back here is not done. So like all this grass work will probably have to be more of a garden. Oh, I need to make a patio. A patio like a gazebo. No, that's the name. Duh, gazebo. Yeah, I should build a gazebo for like weddings and stuff. Ooh, I like that idea. See, I like doing these videos sometimes because I just think outside the box and I just kind of ramble. Here, painting and testing out some different colors for the water slide. It works out. I'm okay with it. Kind of, but did some painting of ground. We got a new soil texture. I think I've said that before. I'm just reminding myself. Thanks. Rock work, favorite thing to do, especially for a water slide. I think it works really well. Do rock work and stuff like that. And add some trees in it and things like that. I do some fences in the back to help with leading guests to the top of the slide. So this is like your mediocre like baby slide for everybody to enjoy, family experience, maybe people just something to kind of connect the pool. I did some water effects to kind of help out with its like design. So I did some water spouts off to the edge so they can go on surfaces now. Kind of led that up. And then I did some splashes along the edges of the pool where I'm imagining where water would flow. And it does actually help. And it's actually really cool to kind of do that because it's like, oh, it looks like it actually has water in it and stuff like that. So I did this too. Cool trick. When you have the water splashes open and that little cube that you see there is that's delete, the water spouts can go on them. And then it turns invisible and it looks like they're kind of part of one of the same shape. It's really a cool effect. I did not expect that to do that, but good on Sebastian to kind of add that feature. That was really cool. That's a really cool effect to kind of add that water to the thing. So yeah, really neat. So just a whole bunch of more splashes on the water and then trees. Yeah, one giant sequoia was the solution for the center. Because again, this is Sequoia Suites. It's supposed to be, I don't know, all grand like. And then a wooden structure to kind of help out with the wooden timber type of feel. So I kind of went for just a wooden timber pieces, pillars, and borders to kind of help out with the support system for the slide. I could add mining equipment around it, maybe. Yeah, I might add some mining equipment to help out with the like mining theme too, because it kind of is a mining theme. California, gold rush, you know, all that good stuff. I don't think you see me build some lounge tables and some umbrellas. You probably see that in the live playthrough, which is fine. But yeah, this is basically American Adventure and the Sequoia Suites. So I'm going to meet you guys in the live tour in a moment. So I'll see you there. Okay, here we are in American Adventure. Well, you guys know this. I'm just restating myself. Here is Sequoia Suites in its finished rendition. Some of the things will probably be added detail and things like that. Like I already, you can tell, I changed the roof to a green color, and I think this was more fitting for like my Grand Californian-esque design. Here's the parking lot with its not parking lot, drive-through bigger. I made a little bus a while ago. This is my Astro Transit, so this kind of ties into my first map. Kind of was just a little Easter egg I wanted to put in. But I feel like it fits really well with how the parking lot's situated. And then here's the bus drop-off. And then this is the employee entrance for the backstage of the American Adventure, or toward the back of Liberty Street, actually. And then here's the hotel, which I think is 144 rooms, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm wrong. I counted wrong. Oh my god, I'm so bad. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 times 6 is 30, right? So 30 is 60. So 120. So 24 less rooms. That's fine. 120 rooms. I think that's enough for this hotel. I could put HVAC systems on top here. Probably going to. Here's the pool area, fully finished. I use chocolate bars as my lounge chairs. They're all folded down with green umbrellas. I think that looks really cool. And then here's the pool area with the steps, and then the buoys to separate the dive-in part where people fall into it, so to protect guests. I mean, this pool, technically speaking, should be bigger. But again, this is my first go for it. And then there's these little circles here. Those are like the water filter parts. I should put one more right over here. Did I do it on 4? I did it on 4, yeah. So let's put one right there. Cool. Makes more sense. Here's the wonderful water slide as it sits. Now, when it comes to this area back here, this might become some type of extension to the hotel. Like maybe... Not really sure, actually. Maybe a playground here. Might build a playground for the kiddos. Or an arcade. Ooh, an arcade would be cool. Like a Grizzly Bear arcade or something. Yeah, again, I'm always thinking outside the box, or just brainstorming, or blue skying, as I call it, blue skying. Here's the whitewater grill. The sign that I talked about should go here on top of this. I think it would make more sense. I don't want it here because it's kind of inlet in, because now this tower's in the way, so I'd rather put it here. There's some tables that I built, and then here's the entrance for the American Adventure. So there is a spawn point inside there's a spawn point in the lobby. So the guests walk through here, wander. They might get lost. I really don't care. And then they go into here, go this way toward... Now they can see the roller coaster from different angles now, and the coaster actually flies over trees now. I kind of did some changes and stuff like that, add some more better trees and things of that nature. Then it kind of loops around and goes around doing its thing. So yeah, this is American Adventure so far with the extension of this hotel, Sequoia Springs. Hope you guys like this episode. Some big other additions to the park that's going to happen as I just kind of do an overview of the park. Look how big this place is. Oh my goodness. There's so much more to do. Like, River Rapids will have to be done and then things like that. But yeah, so hope you guys like this episode. I will catch you all in next week's episode, maybe, if I can get an episode out or something like that. But I will catch you on the next episode of American Adventure. Keep an eye out for Coaster Bees Challenge, because I'm working on that as well. So yeah, I'll catch you guys later. Bye.